There's a lot of videos dissecting different aspects from Marvel rivals, from tier lists, best ultimate, even best Lord Icon. But there's something I've never seen anywhere done, which is a list of the most annoying characters in the game. However, there is an important thing to keep in mind. Annoying character doesn't necessarily mean hated, even though these two terms come hand to hand most of the time. It doesn't mean the most overpowered, useful, or reliable. Just annoying. You know, that scenario where you're playing, minding your own business, and suddenly that character appears and you're like, you gotta be kidding me. So, after careful consideration, I decided to choose the most annoying characters in the game and explain why specifically. Bear in mind that this is my own opinion and it doesn't reflect the general consensus of the community. In fact, if you think another character is more annoying than the ones I mentioned in the list, feel free to leave a comment and let me know which one you think is more annoying. And the list will start with Jeff the Land Shark. According to the game stats, Jeff is the most played character in the game and the most beloved by many. I mean, look at him. How could you not love this little murder ball? But the main reason why Jeff is annoying is primarily because of his ultimate. A good Jeff player will grab everyone in your team with their ultimate and throw you off the cliff. But that's not the only reason why he's annoying. You see, before the season changed, Jeff was a reliable DPS character rather than a support. He was very hard to kill, did a lot of damage and had a massive heal burst with his bubbles. After he was patched, he no longer did as much damage as before, but he remained annoying nonetheless. The reason for this is because his healing attack also damages now. That means that if a lot of players are in line of sight of Jeff's crosshair, he will not only heal his team but also damage you in the process. His bubble now has a limited ammo that recharges over time, rather than being his main attack. However, in this new change, he can make you bounce out of place and disrupt your movement up to 3 times in a row. He can also climb and hide while on the ground and heal in the process. So, even if you're very good at killing support, you're definitely going to have a hard time with this little monster. The final reason why Jeff is annoying is because his ultimate doesn't just swallow the enemy players, but teammates as well. This means that you could have a very good rhythm during a team fight only for Jeff to interrupt it. While he does heal you in the process, having your team fight interrupted by him is pretty annoying. So yeah, this is the only character in this list that can affect both your team and the enemy team at the same time. But Jeff is not as annoying as other characters in this list, which leads me to the next character, which is Scarlet Witch. Again, as mentioned at the beginning, annoying doesn't mean overpowered or reliable. It's quite clear that Scarlet is very low in the tier list of best characters in the game and that she's mostly a circumstantial character at best. But what makes her annoying is her main attack, which is an auto-aim. Normally, when you fight any other character, you have the chance to either dodge, run, or juke. With her, she doesn't even need to be precisely aiming at you to do some damage, only to be as close as necessary. Also, even if you have the perfect combo to one-shot her, she also has 2 more abilities that can make her insufferable. She has a fade ability that makes her invisible and lets her fly, and another ability that stuns opponents if they are in the bubble. There have been many instances in which I was playing a dive or flying character that I wanted to try only for Scarlet to appear out of nowhere and dry my energy bar. Again, the damage isn't very much, but it's still annoying to be focusing on a support or DPS only for her to appear out of nowhere and slowly drain your energy. Finally, while she does have the worst ultimate in the game, we can't deny that it is effective at what it needs to do, and that is to insta-kill enemies. Her ultimate allows her to instantly vaporize any enemy in the radius of her attack, meaning that if there's a convoluted team fight in which you can't stop to focus her, she is very likely going to wipe your entire team at once. As you can see, I have a huge hate for auto-aim characters, and if that gives you any lead of the upcoming character, then you are on the right track. The next character is Namor, the anti-dive character. Namor is an exceptionally great DPS character that allows you to attack from a distance, but what makes him annoying are 2 of his abilities: his bubble and his monsters. Whenever you're close to killing a Namor, he will pop up his bubble and he will become invulnerable to damage, but not to healing. This means that while he is on the bubble, you're very likely to start the fight over again. This ability also allows him to block other ultimates such as Iron Man's and Magneto, and for what it does, it has a fairly low cooldown in my opinion. But that's not the worst part. Namor also can summon monsters that will aim towards enemies at any moment. Having placed these turrets, Namor can be effective and contribute to the team while still missing all of his shots. These monsters are especially great against characters such as Spider-Man, Iron Fist, Black Panther and Magic. And if that wasn't enough, Namor has a team-up ability with Hulk, which is an auto-aim laser. That's right. If the auto-aim shots weren't enough, he also has a Gamma Spawn that will do prolonged damage to any diver or enemy nearby. This monster also has more health than the regular spawns and can create a decisive turnaround in any battle. Finally, his ultimate allows him to do a burst of damage in a certain area radius, but with a caveat. Any enemy within the radius of his ultimate can't use any ability that would allow them to fly, dash or get out of there. This means that if you're in the center of it, you're dead. And if you are in the borders of the ultimate, you get slammed into the ground and stunned for a solid second, with lots of your HP missing, leaving you vulnerable for the rest of the team to wipe you. Now, the next character isn't necessarily an auto-aim character, but does have some similarities in her ultimate. In this case, I'm talking about Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl mainly attacks with her explosive acorns. These do a lot of damage and have a curvature when thrown, ending in a bounce. It takes some skill to perfect Squirrel Girl, but even if you don't know how to aim with her, the ricochet of the acorns will most likely hurt either one or multiple enemies in the area, doing a lot of damage. She also has a snare ability that also bounces and can be used for very dire situations. Her second ability is her jump, which allows her to hop high into the air to avoid enemy attacks or to position herself in a better location. Her third ability allows her to cut the cooldown of any of the two previous abilities, allowing her to snare an enemy again or to jump once more, so you never know what she's going to do next. However, the reason why I think Squirrel Girl is one of the most annoying characters in the game is her ultimate, the Squirrel Stampede. This ultimate isn't the best one in the game, and it can sometimes be useless under the right conditions. However, the pros of this ability is that it does a lot of damage, lasts for a while, and auto-tracks any enemy nearby. This means that if you're in a team fight against her and she throws her ultimate, not only do you need to worry about her damage, but the damage from her ultimate as well. Also, did I mention that the Stampede can hit you multiple times in a row? Yeah, that's a thing. But if randomness isn't what makes a character annoying, I'm pretty sure that predetermined chaos is the way to go. That's why the next character is Penny Parker. Penny has a lot in her arsenal, and I'll do my best to explain why she's so annoying. First, she has her mines, her burst ability. Any mine that Penny drops on the floor can be activated by the enemy and do damage. The cool thing about this is that it can damage multiple enemies at once and even insta-kill enemies that normally can survive huge bursts of damage, such as Luna, Cloak and Dagger, or even tanks. Nonetheless, you can destroy these mines if you can detect them. Doesn't sound that bad, right? Well, secondly, she has a web projectile that has two uses. The first one is to stun the enemy player for half a second, and the second one is to create a web expansion area. Whenever you drop a mine inside of her web, the mine becomes invisible and immune to any damage. This means that if she left any mine inside of the web, you won't be able to tell, and she can trick you into stepping on it, most likely killing your character instantly. Also, this ability has a 3-second cooldown. Isn't it lovely? Next, she has a web grappler that allows her to move with a lot of versatility and options. When using the grappler, she also leaves an area of web expansion just like her stun, meaning that you can leave mines in there. Are you following me? She can also attach herself to that web with the grapple and let go to escape risky situations. Then she has the spider nest, which creates a huge area of web in the ground and allows her to spawn spider pods that will do damage to any enemy within the area. Now combine the mines with these spider bots and you start to understand the complexity and annoyance this character creates. But that's not all. Did you know that you can also climb walls with Penny? Yeah, so if you're about to kill her, she has a chance of running away very easily. But to complete the combo, Penny becomes even more insufferable for two other reasons: her passive healing and her ultimate. Let me explain. When Penny steps on her own webs, she gets passive healing. The more webs she's stepping on, the more healing she gets. This means that she can stack 3 layers of webs below her, attack you from a distance with her regular attack, stun you if you try to run away, surround herself with mines while also healing herself. And finally, let's say that you're very close to killing her. Well, it's very likely that she will pop her ultimate at the last second, which gives her bonus armor and allows her to run across the map while throwing enemies into the air, leaving mines everywhere and expanding the web that I mentioned earlier. Basically speaking, Penny is annoying for the simple fact that it prevents anyone from ever standing in the ground. And if she has a team up with Rocket, she can place 2 nests at once, which also gives additional armor to her allies. Do I need to say anything more? But this character doesn't necessarily need to stay on the ground to be annoying. In fact, he is quite annoying because he can fight in almost any space, and that is Iron Fist. Iron Fist has a regular attack that every 5 hits, he knocks you back. He also has a very good movement, air jump and auto track. That means that if you're going after a flying character that is most likely going to fly away from you, he can track them and kill them mid-air. He also has a spinning kick that allows him to move very far but also does percentage damage. The lower the health of the opponent, the more damage he does. This means that if you're fighting an enemy with low health, you can use this kick to finish them off or to run away if the situation gets dire. His other ability is a parry ability, which allows him to parry up to 3 hits and give him bonus armor. After that, he can go full JoJo on your character and do lots of damage. I can't tell you how many times I was minding my own business until I heard the boxing bells and then the sudden rat-a-ta-ta-ta-ta, rat-a-ta-ta-ta, rat-a-ta-ta from his fist. He also has an ability that heals him, and any additional healing becomes armor for a short time, making him harder to kill. But his ultimate is what sets him apart, as he gets a lot of bonus damage, ranged attack, parry with lower cooldowns, and it can hit multiple targets at once. This ability alone is the one that makes you wonder if Iron Fist is truly DPS or a tank because of how difficult it is to kill him. Now, the final character to make it into this list is no surprise to anyone. I apologize beforehand if I don't have many good clips playing as this character, but he is as annoying as he is difficult to play. You must know already by now who I'm talking about, but no character in this game is more annoying than our beloved hero SpiderMan. Now, his damage output isn't the best, but he's the only character in the entire game that can instantly kill you with a regular ability. That's right, a regular ability that can kill you instantly. His pull allows him to pull you off the map, killing you instantly. He's also versatile when it comes to movement, as he can swing between buildings and streets, allowing him to either escape from a team fight or engage in one very quickly. His web shots aren't anything special damage-wise, but they do serve 2 functions. The first one is that any hit after the enemy has been webbed gives him additional damage, allowing him to demolish tanks, DPS and supports very easily. The second one is that it allows his pull to pull him towards the enemy, rather than the other way around, allowing him to engage in a fight and connect any combo. His uppercut can be used as part of his regular combo or combine it with his swings to prolong his rollout, pushing him into the air. Finally, he's got an ultimate that's not the best, but not the worst either. His ultimate allows him to do a lot of damage to multiple enemies in the area at the same time, mostly used a lot of the times to disintegrate supports in the backline. Now, while Spider-Man is very annoying, it takes a lot of skill to perfect him, and there's a reason why it is a regular meme within the community called Rage Bait Spider-Man, because that's what he achieves with every player. Now, these are the characters I think are the most annoying in Marvel Rivals. What do you think? Should I have added any other characters in the list? Make sure to comment below if you think that's the case, and I'll make sure to check on it. This has been Juano, and thank you for